like two new defensive players. The process of being acclimated. Are you surprised that the guys who haven't played football all year are being rushed into action here?
I mean, if they can help, they can help. Getting new guys in that play a high level football is always a good thing. And, hopefully they're ready to play on Sunday, if not, as soon as possible.
John, what's going on your side of the ball? You guys have been together, so you got really, really good players on your side of the ball. You got good coaches. Just what's been missing with this defense?
We said, in the leadership meeting, it's not really too much to panic about. It's just like we got to do our job a little bit better. I think that's what it is. We got the big, crazy bust out of the discussion now. It's just kind of like locking in, doing your job like a little bit better. Like just we don't have to be superhuman effort. It's just like everyone doing their job just a little bit better. We need more out of everybody.
John, with the defensive breakdowns, I guess in general, do you guys feel like you know what the problem is and just now have to put a plan into action to solve it, or is the problem and why it's happening kind of like a mystery still or a surprise?
Yeah, I think it's safe to say it's not a mystery or anything. I think we just got to execute at a higher level. I think that's what it is. It's not really not knowing what to do. It's just kind of like understanding why and how and doing it at an extremely higher level.
How can you guys understand what you're supposed to do better, I guess? What needs to change?
Just more time in meetings, more time studying, more time asking questions, more time, leaning on one another and making sure everyone knows what they're doing.
Do you plan on seeing Max Jones in this game?
We're preparing for him, yep. I don't know his status or anything like that, not really looking that deep into it, but you got to get ready for him.
And Stevenson, running back, big game against Detroit. He had a big game last year against you guys. Based on the last two games, you make adjustments, you just try to tackle better, or what?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a physical game. Got to stay in your gap first and foremost because he is elusive. He has great vision, good feet. So definitely going to be a physical one. He runs hard. He's a tough tackle. So definitely got to put like a red dot on him. And I think he's going to be the workhorse this game.
Obviously, for safety, you don't live tackle in practice during the week. So my question is, how do you get better at tackling in the middle of a season? How do you work on something like that?
I think it's just everybody running to the ball. I mean, you're going to miss tackles you got some talented guys in this league. They're going to force missed tackles, but if there's somebody else on your team, right there to limit yardage after a missed tackle or broken tackle, I think, that helps. So it's really just locking in on angles. And like I said, everybody got to run to the ball relentlessly. You could be 30 yards away from the play. If you just got to run to the ball, anything can happen. We might get a ball on the ground. So I think just relentless pursuit this week.
I think after the game last year in New England, guys said that Belichick was able to kind of exploit everything you guys have done poorly to that point. When you go back and watch that film, what really stands out out there?
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot of things well. I mean, I think that was probably our worst performance overall. But, they're a team. They're not going to beat themselves. They are going to go back to see what we did poorly. I know last year was kind of like perimeter stuff, screens, reverses, toss, cracks. And this year we've been actually better at that this year because we put an emphasis on it. So just self-scouting us, going back, seeing what we did poorly, and I think that's how they're going to try to attack us. That's what they usually do.
When you sit there, I feel like a coaching staff that you really have to be on top of everything you do because they'll find any kind of crease.
100%. That's what they've been doing, for as long as I've been playing, as long as I've been watching, actually. So that's something that they do really, really well, over the past decade. So that's definitely something we got to be worried about.
John, how did you guys as a leadership group address the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and how did you come through, your own when you look back at it on film?
Yeah, that's something we talk about every day, not getting, we call them dumb penalties. Things like you can avoid, sometimes a face mask or something like that is hard to avoid, but things that you have complete control over, you can't do that in this building. And we just addressed it, owned it, we got to move forward. I don't think we're going to get too many more of those moving forward.
We've heard about gap integrity, staying in your gap since 1999. So is that just discipline? Why is it difficult for a defender to do?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned. I was just watching tape on Stevenson, and you'll be in your gap, and you think he hit another hole, so you try to retrace and overlap, but then he backdoor go back through your gap. So it's kind of like playing the play all the way through, because at any given moment, your gap can be challenged. Even if you started, with good position and stuff like that, you just got to kind of lock in and stay put.
John, go ahead.
John, I know it's not always you on the missed tackles, but is it a technique thing? Is it a focus thing? Is it an effort thing? Like, is there a common denominator just with a lot of them?
I think technique, sometimes you have to choose the right, attempt to make. Sometimes it's a leave your feet and shoot. Sometimes it's a stay on your feet. Sometimes it's a profile head-on tackle. So it's like understanding the moment. And I feel like most missed tackles are like choosing the wrong weapon and going to tackle somebody.
And I know you guys wanted a lot of turnovers. Is that something that maybe guys are going for strips or going for fumbles and not really just getting the tackle, or they don't really correlate?
I mean, we're all about the ball. We want to attack the ball all the time, but that's no excuse, for a missed tackle. Tackling, getting them on the ground is the most important thing. Then, the ball is next. But I don't think that's exactly why, but it's just something we just got to tighten up.
How about Denzel Ward? How worried are you about him, of course, with the concussion, and what if you guys have to be without him on Sunday?
Yeah, hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Like I said, I don't know the status, in depth on that, but he's definitely, our guy. He's going to be here for a while, and he puts good stuff out there on tape. So, and he's a leader. We lean on him to do a lot of different things. So hopefully he gets back ASAP.
Hey, John, do you know the new guy, Deion Jones, at all?
I met him today. I had known him prior.
Can it, in the past, when you get a new guy coming in, can that help sometimes? I mean, especially somebody with experience like he's got?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, his skill set is very unique. He's been doing it for a good amount of time, making a lot of plays. I think he's a guy that everybody knows, even if you don't really watch, Atlanta, you still know that guy just from him running around making plays. So I think, like I said, anytime you get a guy like that on your defense, it can always help. And we're just looking forward to it.
Seems like they felt they needed a veteran in that position group after Walker's injury.
Perhaps, more depth. I mean, the more guys you have that can play at a high level is great.
Kevin Stefanski talks a lot when he's talking about the offense, like, hey, I as the coach, I got to put all those guys in the right spot. I got to be calling right plays, right scheme, all those type of things. How much involvement does he have on your side of the ball, and do you feel like that the issues are more player related as opposed to scheme or coaching related?
I think it works hand in hand as far as coach. I'm not sure what goes on in the defensive staff meetings or anything like that, but he's more of getting us ready to play, having the right attitude, having the right mindset, and I think it works hand in hand with players and coaches. Like sometimes the play call might not be the best, but we got to find a way to bail it out. Sometimes it might be a perfect play call, we end up missing, busting. So I think it just works hand in hand, and just got to find a way to execute.
How different is the Patriots offense when it's not Mac Jones at quarterback?
I mean, I'd imagine, it's a little bit more run heavy, but I feel like they're going to go out there and try to attack a team the same way. Like I said, they've done a great job of seeing what a team doesn't do well and attacking that. So that's what I imagine we're going to get.
And I know we got a lot of help, but have you been impressed with what the rookies been able to do, especially against the Lions last week?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of him, but yeah, like I said, he put up good game. Managed the game, and definitely going to work together with that run game. So it's not something we can sleep on.
John, you talked about Belichick earlier, but do you prepare even more when you face almost a Belichick-led team to know that they do things maybe just a little bit different than everybody else?
Yep, I think the mindset is, they're not going to beat themselves. And I feel like our previous 5 games, we kind of had some beat ourselves moments in those games. So this is a game, the margin for error is really small. And we saw that last year, how it got out of hand. So definitely one that we're locked in and focused about.
Hey, John, I'm not saying this is the only factor, but the loss of Walker, has that been a big factor for you the past couple of weeks? Do you think the defense has felt that in a major way?
I think so. He's a captain. He's a middle linebacker. That's a position that everybody sees, has a lot on their plate. And just even from a leadership standpoint, he's one of those guys that, everyone leans on. So it was a big loss, but like I said, you got to go out there and execute. It's the NFL. And I'm happy he's back in the building now to, help us out and stuff like that.